And I know a lot of other the committee members are going to home in on the security breach. I'm more interested in Microsoft's presence in China, which I consider to be the greatest existential threat to our security here in the United States. Your presence in China, is that a joint venture or is that fully owned by Microsoft? What's the nature of that relationship?
I don't recall all of the precise corporate structures. We do operate as a subsidiary. We also do have a joint, we have at least one joint venture for certain activities.
Are you aware of the 2017 National Intelligence Law in China?
Yes, I am.
Do you know what that law states?
If I remember correctly, one of the things it states is that when an organization finds a vulnerability, it has to report.
No, sir, that's not what I'm doing. That's not where I'm going. Okay. So here, I just happen to have AI myself.
Hopefully it's ours.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. If it is, it's pretty bad for you because it says this.
Okay.
Okay? Yep, in China, there is a law called the National Intelligence Law that was implemented in 2017. This law requires all organizations and citizens to cooperate with China's intelligence agencies, including the People's Liberation Army, in matters of national security. While the law does not specifically mention companies working in China, it does apply to all organizations operating within the country, including foreign companies. Do you operate in China?
Yes, we do.
Do you comply with this law?
No, we do not.
How is it you got away with not complying with the law? Do you have a waiver from the Chinese government saying that you don't have to comply with this law?
No, we do not. But
you do not?
But there are many laws. There are two types of countries in the world, those that apply every law they enact, and those that enact certain laws but don't always apply them. And in this context, China, for that law, is in the second category.
Do you really believe that? Because look, I select on the select committee on China, and that's not the information that we get, is that all companies in China have to cooperate with the intelligence agencies of China and the People's Liberation Army. You operate in China, and you're sitting there telling me that you don't have to comply with the laws of China?
I will tell you that there are days when questions are put to Microsoft, and they come across my desk, and I say no. We will not do certain things.
But you're complied by Chinese law to do it. And the people in China that work for Microsoft are violating Chinese law when they don't do it.
And I always make sure that it's clear to the Chinese government that if the Chinese government wants to sue somebody, they need to sue me.
It's not about suing. In China, they don't sue you, man. They arrest you, okay? Do you understand that?
And we make clear that there's no point in arresting people who have no authority to do these things.
They have the authority to do those things because it's their law.
No,
you're in China.
I'm talking about our employees.
Okay, yeah, your employees in China are subject to Chinese law. Are they not?
But they don't have the ability to make these decisions. We've taken that out of their hands.
I'm sorry, for some reason, I just don't trust what you're saying to me, okay? You're operating in China, you have a cozy relationship in China, you're there, they allow you to be there, and I can't believe that they're gonna say, yeah, okay, no problem, you don't have to comply with our law, that everybody else does. Every other foreign company has to, but not Microsoft. I'll take you at your word.
I'm
just demonstrating to you the problems that we have with American companies working in China. And that for 1% of your resources or of your income, is it really worth it to be in communist China? Especially when you have such a law that says you have to comply with their intelligence agencies and the PLA.
The thing I would ask all of us to think about, and I appreciate your questions and the seriousness of them. We think constantly about these things. I do think that there's two valuable reasons for us to be in China, and I think they both serve the interests of the United States. The first is to protect American information, American trade secrets of American companies who are doing business in China. And the second is to ensure that we're always learning from what's going on in the rest of the world.
I only have 13 seconds. Could I say this? Those American companies and all these American secrets that are working in China, they have to comply with the same law. Do you think they all do? Thank you, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields